Hello there. It's another beautiful evening. I'm not sure if I should even talk about this. Because wouldn't you already know much about it? You'll hear about it on social media. You'll see it on the news. You'll hear it word of mouth. If I just need to say the words buffalo, you get the gist? Another subhuman animal has taken the lives of people trying to buy food. You know, people with their grocery lists. People trying to think what they want to have for dinner. Do they want to have orange juice in the morning when they wake up? What kind of protein bars do they want to have when they take their bike ride the next day? Or maybe they're planning ahead. Maybe they're going to have a nice family gathering. They're going to have a big meal. Serve it up. Now, you see, this is one of the reasons why I always carry a big knife with me where I go. I carry two. I've got my pocket knife, and I've got a hunting knife, or a combat knife, essentially. Big ones, about 6-inch. But, yeah, I know you might make fun of me. Why the hell would you bring a knife to a gunfight? Well, I don't have a gun. But in the instance, the circumstance, the unforeseen my ass. This is fucking America. What are you talking about? Unforeseen. On the 50-50 chance, the possibility, there could be a mass shooter who walks up into the grocery store and wants to take a shot at everyone he sees. At least people he doesn't like. Let's say that if it's a racist shooter, I might be good because I'm white. If it's a white dude who wants to walk up into the grocery store and shoot up a bunch of people who happen to be dark skinned, Asian, what have you, and I'll probably be safe unless I come at him with a knife. Or if I'm put in a situation where I'm cowering, I'm hiding because of such a circumstance, then I would like at least a percent of a chance. Even if it's a 0.001% chance that I could drive that knife into the back of his skull, right into his head, and instantly murder him before he murders me. I don't think, would you take issue with that? Now you tell me, no, Jeremy, just hide, just run away. That's the safe thing to do. Yeah. It wasn't safe. And it wasn't safe for that security guard to shoot at this guy because he had fucking body armor. He had flak jackets. I want to know why. I looked this up and I read it. That actually flak jackets can be illegal for civilians to wear. And that doesn't make sense to me. Especially if you live in America, because this is one of the most gun-happy, violent fucking cities on earth. Country, continent. We've got so many guns. What the fuck is it illegal or improper for civilians for me, when I go out and donate, when I go out and buy groceries, even if I don't have a gun, if I do not have a weapon capable of killing people from long range, Why am I not allowed to fucking wear a vest underneath my shirt? Because I tell you what, to me, that don't make sense. You know why? I think I just explained why. All you really need to understand why is to just watch the news. And you see what happens. Hang on. I gotta cross this highway. You know, I think it should be not only a right, but even encouraged for people of color in America to go out by yourself with, if you got like $100, maybe $200 or so. I don't know how expensive they are. Some of them can go up to like $1,000. It's ridiculous. But, you know, if you have some money that you could purchase, because I understand you have to buy it, I recommend for, you know, people of color, even in predominantly, you know, black neighborhoods, because, you know, these type of people are going to go to where you are. It doesn't matter. You could be segregated. It doesn't fucking matter. These ghouls will find you. Evil will seek you out. It doesn't matter. You don't have to go looking for evil, because evil will find you. You know, it shouldn't have to. I shouldn't even have to be offering this kind of advice. But, like, you know, so that you're safe. Like, black people might want to think about going out wearing fucking flak vests underneath their shirt. I mean, you go out in a it's ridiculous that these words even need to be coming out of my mouth. You shouldn't have to do this. You shouldn't have to worry just because of the color of your skin, any more than you should have to worry because of the color of your eyes, that someone's going to come to where you are buying oranges and apples and fucking murder you. You shouldn't have to worry. But apparently you fucking do. And you know why? Because the ideas that this individual, this ghoul, had of, what do they call it? The replacement theory, the great replacement, or whatever the fuck, what kind of grandiose, stupid fucking titles they have for their stupid fucking conspiracy theories that was made out of air by their stupid little fucking insignificant fucking brains. That's being generous to say that they have brains at all. You shouldn't be worried that your race is going to be replaced by anybody. And also, even if it was happening, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Because guess what? Even if I don't give a shit because it's not happening. I don't give a shit because in order for something like that to happen, there would have to be something, I don't know, akin to a fucking Holocaust. Akin to a fucking genocide. There is no such thing as there is no such thing as a genocide against white people. It's not happening. Genocide is inherently violent. And if you want to talk about violence, all these stupid motherfuckers who love repeating The Second Amendment, Second Amendment, Second Amendment rights, Second Amendment, read the Constitution, Second Amendment, Amendment, Second Amendment. How much of the Constitution have you even fucking read? I've read it front to back. I know what the Fourth Amendment says, and the Fifth, and the Sixth. I know what they say. I should read it again, just to kind of brush up. But I've read it. I've read the whole thing. I haven't read the Second Amendment and the First Amendment. And those are the only two I know. Do you know what the third one is? You know what the 13th Amendment is? All of these people who are so gun happy, because that's what you are. You're gun happy. There's nothing wrong with liking guns. There's something wrong with murdering people who didn't hurt you or do anything to deserve being murdered with guns. You want to talk about tyranny? You want to talk about treason or treachery or terrorism? Let's talk about terrorism. I have a bit of wild opinions, which aren't actually that wild, but I have a couple that are. Most of my opinions aren't that wild, but when it comes to violence, when it comes to terrorism, whatever corner of my ass I'm pulling this statistic out of, I don't know, but I would assume most violence is perpetrated inherently against people who did nothing to the extent of what violence is being perpetuated against them. So always by people who actually deserve the violence that they're giving to others, that they're oppressing people with. So, and then you have to ask the question, well, even people who perpetuate violence against others, are they deserving of having that violence perpetrated against them? Now, that's a very philosophical debate. I think everything matters on a case-by-case basis. If your brother punches you in the arm and you're both 12 years old because, I don't know, you broke his favorite statue or model or toy train or whatever the fuck, do you deserve to hit your brother back in the arm? I don't know. Probably not. Probably shouldn't do that. Maybe the kid should be made to apologize. Maybe that. Maybe he should be made to apologize without being punched back in the arm. Because obviously, any kid at the age of 12 would know that, hey, getting punched in the arm hurts. Babies people since 1 years of age, if not 2 or 3 years of age, will understand that, hey, don't touch fire on a stove because it hurts. You should know that. You should know what not to do, what you did wrong. And you should apologize when you do wrong. You should take responsibility for when you do wrong. Now this is another example. When people, well, let's call them people who gain power, and their actions that they take and the way in which they rule and lead in government leads to people being homeless, people dying, because homelessness is inherently violent. There's no way you're going to make me believe any different. Homelessness is inherently of violence perpetrated against others from the upper class. It's violence perpetrated against the lower classes by the top class. People who are elites, who hoard wealth, who do things that lead to hundreds, if not thousands, of people dying, then do you think those people deserve violence? Do you think they deserve life imprisonment? Do you think they deserve... What do you think they deserve? Personally, I think they deserve death. Because when you look at what Hitler did, he was responsible for millions of deaths. Or he was let's say he was an accessory to the deaths of millions of people. Well, we all know what happened to Hitler. We bombed his ass. We bombed him until he fucking died. Or, actually, we bombed him until we scared him so much that he shot himself in the head. Now, I don't think that Hitler's suicide could be counted as an act of guilt or shame. I don't think it's any of that. He knew exactly what he was doing. And the people who helped facilitate Hitler's crimes also knew exactly what they were doing. That's why, towards the end of the war, so many Nazis blew their fucking heads off. Some quite literally. Those people were responsible for war crimes, for travesties, for torture, for violence of the worst kind. Next to Vlad the Impaler. Vlad the Impaler is a whole other level of fucked up. Even beyond Nazi fucked up. Yes, I think. But yeah. Nazis knew what they were doing. They killed themselves towards the end of the war because they didn't want to be tried or executed by the Americans. They were probably worried about being treated the same way that they were treating others. So they would rather kill themselves so they don't have to face that type of pain or even face taking responsibility for their actions on a public in a public way. Going before a court. We were gonna put Hitler behind bars and then take him to court and read off the list of how many crimes he was responsible for, the individual names of every person who died in the Holocaust. We weren't going to do that. We were going to fucking kill him. We killed fascists in World War II. It's what we did. Fascists exist today. They are alive and in charge today. And not just in other countries, but in the United States. Oligarchs, I consider fascists. I consider corporate CEOs, to some degree, fascist. I consider anyone who hoards wealth, who owns mansions and pools, and doesn't want people in poverty to even have a single bedroom fucking studio, a room, to have a toilet, to have a refrigerator, who doesn't care enough to fight to implement these type of things, or to people who even have the Koch brothers, the Carlyle group, who donates to both parties in America, which is just proof that there is no difference between Republicans and Democrats. The only difference between Republicans and Democrats is that Republicans are honest about how fucked up, how much they want to fuck you. They're honest about how much they want to fuck you, and they actually succeed in fucking you without lube, with no condom. They just ram it home. Democrats, they're thumb-twiddling, pearl-clutching bitches that are fickle and weak and useless. They sit there and get cucked by the Republican Party all the fucking time, and when push comes to shove, they keep things from regressing, but they don't make it better. They give you breadcrumbs. You can't survive off breadcrumbs. Oh, well, the Democrats gave us this little thing. That's not good enough. It is not good enough. Nothing they do will ever be good enough until they actually fucking fight, until there's a revolution from the inside. There has to be some kind of some change in the spirit, some kind of zeitgeist for them to realize that they suck at their job. The worst part is, the Democrats like Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and Joe Manchin. I don't even think Joe Manchin qualifies as a fucking Democrat. He's a fucking Republican. Duck. There's a ducky. I worry about him swimming in that. Whack, whack, whack. What was I saying? Yes. Joe Manchin can't even be considered a Republican. I don't think he can even be considered human. The worst part is all these Democrats who, they're so blatant about their corruption, like Nancy Pelosi. I don't understand why, spouses shouldn't be able to trade stocks. The stocks. But the precious stocks, one of my husband needs to cheat stocks. It's not like he's my husband and I'm going to tell him anything about the stocks. So that he can get rich by sitting on his ass and gambling with other people's money? Or Joe Manchin. How about Joe Manchin? I'll vote for Build Back Better, but you gotta take some things out of it. Alright, we'll take some things out of it, Mr. Manchin. Oh, that's cool. Now take some more stuff out of it. Oh, you should take some more stuff out of it. Take some more stuff out of Build Back Better right fucking now, or I'll build back your ass. Okay, Mr. Manchin. That's good. Now take some more shit out of it. Okay. Here, Americans. Here's Build Back Better. Here's nothing. Aren't you glad we gave you nothing? Aren't you glad we gave you 2 checks? What? You're good. Americans are fine. They don't need another $1,000. Come on. What did Joe Biden say about young people? Give me a break. I don't want to hear it. Give me a break. You say things are hard? Give me a break. Go fuck yourself. You fucking arrogant fucking asshole. How can you like these people? And how can you seriously take... Because when it comes to Roe v. Wade, that that the Democrats are happy about Roe v. Wade, because now they can say once again, we love women. Give us your votes. Blue no matter who, because no matter who is blue, we all love women. Why don't you? Fuck yourself. Fuck yourself. Anybody who believes that, you are just as deluded as people on the right who actually think that Trump was doing anything for their benefit. People below a certain, a level of income, what I mean. People like you, people like me. Nobody should take anybody in our government seriously until they prove to you that they're actually fighting. Until they prove that when they're told no, they don't take it for an answer. They don't say, no, we can't give people Medicare for all. No, we're not going to give people more stimulus checks. We can't give people a universal basic income. No, we're not going to raise wages. Nah, we're not going to erase student debt, even though we promised that we'll do all these things just sometime, but we can't do it now. We can't. We can't do it now because you see the debt and the deficit and stuff. Anyway, hey, military, take money. Take our money. Take the American people's money. Hey, military-industrial complex, you want to bomb some children down the Middle East? Take some money. It's no big deal. Take some fucking money and kill some people at a fucking Muslim wedding. Just take the money. Come on, we need defense. It's not like we have the most bloated, fucking enormous military budget in the world. The most expensive military on the planet. On the fucking planet. You cannot look at the American empire and tell me that there's any kind of optimism for the near future, for things to get better. It's all incremental change. It's called suffocating slowly. We're not going to survive this type of regime. Now, am I saying we need to overthrow the government? Come on, let's go in there. Let's shoot them all up. Let's January 6th this bitch. I don't have all the answers. But I know what the problems are, and I'll point them out to you so that you're aware, so that you can come to your own conclusions about what we need to do. But, I do think there's something to be said about scaring, not necessarily harming, but scaring politicians into doing what you want. Because some of these people only understand one language. People like Trump and Pence and Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton, all of these elite, established leaders, if you can even call them leaders, air quotes, leaders, all of these people, they're not going to do what you want unless you can bring the storm to their doorstep. Protest outside of their homes. Call their offices and leave messages. Don't make threats, because that can get you fucked. But leave articulate, angry messages about how much of a failure they are, about how much they suck as a person, how disgusting they fucking are. You have to let them know that they suck, and they need to do better. This goose is yelling at me. You want to yell at me? He's bobbing that head. I will punch you if you try anything. I like geese. Do not change my opinion of you fuck are you doing? If I had some heavy metal, you'd look badass right now. Anyway, I hope I actually caught that on camera. He's still doing it. What a weirdo. Well, civilian infrastructure. You know, we could put endless money into the military, but we can't do for a few more, like, trails, a few more walking trails, a few more biking trails. How about a universal basic income? I'll settle. You know what? If I could settle for 3 things that I could see happen in my lifetime, I'd be content. At least for a while. 3 things. People need a universal basic income. Every single citizen, once they are 16 years old, the government sends them a check for $1,000 a month. Don't tell me we can't afford that, and don't ask me where we need to get the money, because we never ask that question when we need to give the military money. It always when it comes to the civilians, when it comes to us, when it comes to the citizens, you always got to ask, where are we going to get that money? Always got to ask that when it comes to that. Universal basic income. An end to the drug war. Because let's face it, the only people the drug war does anything for, it doesn't even do much for police officers. Because they're constantly worried about being capped in the head because they smell pot in some black guy's truck. Idiots. The only thing the drug war serves is to make prison wardens more money. Is to make people who own private prisons, is to make people who own prisons money. And that's it. And last but not least, Medicare for all. Because I'm sick and tired of worrying about who my wife can see for her back. I'm worried about what psychologist I can go to have them fix my brain. Because my brain ain't always working most efficiently. I'm not retarded or anything, but you know, sometimes I have these behaviors and these urges that when my depression or a crisis, financial crisis especially, but when things get bad enough, I'm a hazard to myself. And I think to some extent that I could potentially be a hazard to others. Not to people I love, but to people I don't love. And it has nothing to do with people's skin color. It mostly has to do with the social standing and status of certain people who do certain things that end up hurting other people and hurting me in the process. And I get angry. And sometimes I want to vent that anger in a very, very negative way. Quite honestly. But these are thoughts to shelve for now. Because I'm going to listen to some music on the rest of the way home. And I'm going to enjoy the evening. When I get home, I'm going to have some nice healthy food. Apparently my protein was kind of low. It was at like a 7 point something last time I went to donate. And today it was at like a 6.3 or something or other. So I need to get that under control. I need to eat some more tofu, some more soy, some more vegetables in general. Too much processed shit. But I need to stay hydrated. Probably need to quit drinking so much. I'm having like 2 to 3 shots a day, every day, towards the evening. I mean, that's not bad, but, you know, my kidneys probably don't love it. My liver probably doesn't love it. No, let's use whiskey as a coping skill. Now that's when my therapist will say, hey, now you're doing it wrong. It has to be recreational. It has to be something to relax with, not to use to relax. Enjoy your evening. Have a healthy day. Stay healthy. Stay safe, whoever you are, because you never know what the next day might bring.